Dan, as a white British male, how have you managed to accumulate 10 properties over the last 12 months?
Crippling debt. Loads and loads of debt.
Break it down. When people think about debt, they think, fuck. Break that down for me.
Of course, so there's different types of debt that you can take on, obviously good and bad debt, firstly. I have a range of different debt, whether it be private finance, mortgages, or institutional finance.
Yeah.
Debt is a great tool for us in property. It's leverage. It helps us scale.
Yeah. So with like the average guy looking to get into property, and I think there are people who are just scared of it and see it as a bad thing. Like, what is a mindset shift you've got to make in order for you to grow in the property game?
I think education, starting point. Understanding it. Understanding risk, how to de-risk deals, what debt is, how the tool can be used, and how to deploy it accurately as well.
Okay, cool. Let's look at like how you've transitioned from what you were doing before and what your life was like before to into somebody who's obviously running your Airbnb business, you're finding investors, flipping, all that sort of shit. Like, what was Dan before the property guy? Who was Dan before the property guy?
Mate, I was a lazy kid. Property's always been on my radar because I was a lazy kid. So I saw people that were making money through rental income.
Yeah.
And they didn't seem to be doing an awful lot of work.
Is that what you do now?
Well, my idea of what property was is very different to what property means and is to me now.
Okay.
So I got hooked on this, I suppose, carrot and stick model of, you know what, if I can buy a house. I went on a course when I was 17 and it's not the course's fault. It's my fault as being a 17-year-old kid. What I heard was I can buy a house using a credit card, rent it out and live on the beach. And I thought, this is for me. I don't.
That's what's being sold now. That's the same course that's going around
Absolutely.
now. Everyone's on the same course.
It worked for me. It worked for me massively. So that kind of gave me the hook. But also, I was working as a joinery apprentice at the time. I was shit at it, but also I hated it as well.
Yeah.
I was working for someone I didn't like, doing something I didn't want to do. And that fear of being stuck in that motivated me to want to do something differently as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Why didn't you go through the conventional route then? Like, what was it that didn't appeal to you? I don't know. What were your mates? What were your mates doing at the time? What made you kind of go down this route instead of thinking, I'm just gonna go with everyone else?
I genuinely think for me, there's probably two parts. So, as a kid during summer holidays, I always had to work, had to do something. And I did some work experience at school, and it was for 2 hours in Tuesday afternoon.
Okay.
And it was working in some sort of factory, packaging boxes and things. And I looked around me, and everyone in there was like super depressed. It was the most miserable environment ever. And I just looked at that and I thought, there is no way that I'm going to be able to cope with 40 years of doing this. I've got to find another way. Had to find something differently. And property gave me that opportunity to do something differently.
Have you tried any other avenues of
No.
doing it? So you just went,
Property,
okay.
this is me.
So from when you were 17?
Yeah.
So what was the learning curve like through that process of getting on the course, this fucking course where you were meant to be within 6 months living on the beach, you know, sipping pina coladas? What was that actual learning curve like? And what were, let's say, 3 harsh lessons that you've learned on your journey so far?
Oh, mate, very painful lesson. You know, when I started, I was a kid. I got no experience of work, no experience of property, and no idea how the world worked. I'd been told about this dream, and it's not the reality of how things worked. So there was a lot of learning that I had to go through. First one, I suppose, trusting people. So as a young, naive kid, one of the first mistakes I made was I lent my life savings to a guy in the Northeast who cleared off to Thailand with him. Never seen him since.
I bet he had a fucking great time.
Well,
God, I love that fucking exchange rate.
I believe he took around 5 million quid. So I think he's probably having a great time in Thailand. In truth. No one's heard from him since.
Yeah.
So trusting people. And then I suppose what property's done for me is it's gone from a fantasy of how can I cheat the system, be this lazy kid, take rental income, buy these houses, to actually something that's become a complete passion, a complete purpose. So property is so much more for me than just the vehicle and the mechanism behind creating wealth or career. It's something that I'm super passionate about. I enjoy so many different aspects and opportunities that property gives you. And I suppose learning that actually it's more than just creating an income. This is about something that I can sink my teeth into. I've got purpose.
Would you say it's a lifestyle?
Massively so for me. Massively. Yeah.
What about the people that kind of like half in, half out? What's your viewpoint on those sorts of people?
Perfectly fine. Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Property serves a range of different people in different ways. You can be full-time in it. You can put all your eggs in that basket. It's sensible for people to diversify anyway. But if you're somebody that wants to accumulate additional wealth through flipping a couple of properties a year, one a year, building a buy-to-let portfolio slowly, great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The industry is becoming more regulated. The government want us to be professional, large-scale landlords. So I do think if you're going to get into it at a bit of scale. Don't half-arse it.
Yeah.
Do a bit.
So Dan, what is the reason that you feel like the government's doing the shit that they're doing at the moment?
I don't think I'm educated enough to comment on it, other than the fact we see large institutions, banks, etc., buying UK residential property. They want to professionalise the industry, but what they're doing is making it far more difficult for landlords to enter the market, which is only going to penalise
Are they
tenants.
making money off doing so?
I don't know, in truth. Banks certainly will be. But the reality is the person or the end user that's penalised is the tenant. Rents are going to increase. Landlords are going to leave the market.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about somebody who's coming to, need somewhere to fucking live? And because of these decisions that are being made well above mine and your pay grade, those people being affected in a negative way, what's your feelings on that?
We need good quality landlords in the UK.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
We need people to be protected from landlord side and the tenant side as well.
For sure.
But there's people that are difficult on both ends of the spectrum, whether that be tenants, whether that be landlords. We need a fair landscape to work from. Simple as that.
Yeah.
No more.
I mean, obviously I've been out to the UAE recently, and they're in favour of the landlord there, whereas I think here it's more in favour of
massively so
the tenants, and it fucking works. Everything works there. Everything seems to work. And I think we need to kind of incentivise people doing well in this country, because Dan, like, you got high aspiration, you want to do well financially. Like, I don't feel like it's fair that somebody like yourself, you're 28 years of age and you've done well for yourself, and you're on this climb, for you then to have to worry about being penalised for doing well. I don't think that's fair. I want to go back to what you said about that money, the guy running off with your money and having a great time in Thailand with whoever he had a good time with. You know what I'm on about. People go, dirty old men who go to Thailand for one reason, yeah? But I want to dig into that. Like, how, you were 17, 18 at the time when you ran off? Or were you a bit older? 21,
I think.
21. Okay, so you're still young.
20.
And he took a substantial amount of money, felt like a substantial amount of money from you at the time.
Certainly did.
How the fuck did you deal with that?
I think for me at the time, I'd realised, I think you've cocked up before you got going here. You've really buggered this up.
Yeah.
And for me, having that certainty that property is what I wanted to do, I had no choice but to make it work.
Yeah.
It was just a case of, you've got to get through this. You
Yeah.
have literally no choice.
Yeah.
Make it work, suck it up, figure a way out of it.
Yeah.
And I did. It was just pure graft, making better decisions, learning from the mistakes, trusting, but verifying people, getting my head down and cracking on. No more to it.
I think most people there would have been like, fuck this.
Oh, mate, and it wasn't the only cock-up mistake that I made in the first year either.
I'm going back to fucking packing boxes in the factory.
No, that's still worse.
Cool. So in terms of like looking at the UK and just looking into regulation, just the state of the UK at the moment, like, you've got a particular mindset, bro. Obviously, I work with you personally. You've got a particular mindset. You're driven, hard-headed at times, which can work in your favour and against you, I'm sure. But what do you feel like the real problem is within the UK in terms of mindset for people in the late 20s like yourself?
I'll be honest, mate, it's not something I concern myself too much with. I live in my own ecosystem, my life, my problems, my circle, my people. That's it. I think when you look at other cultures, though, for example, America, they celebrate success a lot more. There's a lot of people that hate on success. A lot of people that pretend they want to see you doing well, but don't actually. People are happy for you to do well, just not as well as they're doing. Yeah. I think fundamentally that's a broken
Do you find
idea.
that more in property circles? Or is it more supportive?
Property is generally more supportive.
Okay.
I think you're going to get the same people that sit behind the scenes that probably don't want you to do as well as them, don't want to see you succeed too much. Ultimately, a lot of us are competing against each other, but actually it's a super collaborative industry. People want to help each other, and that's one of the things that people are most surprised of when they enter into it, how supportive, how helpful people are. There's quite a lot of talk about abundance mindset. There's enough property to go around for us all, etc. So it is pretty helpful in comparison to other industries for sure.
Sick. So that does actually surprise me, because I thought it was a bit more cutthroat, a bit more, your loss is my gain is your loss sort of attitude.
For sure.
Yeah, but by how you've described it, it's not as bad as what I thought.
No.
The market's kind of mad right now. How do you navigate difficult market conditions?
A couple of different things. So firstly, accepting we're in this for the long run. That's the starting point. Secondly, taking advice off people that have been in the market for a lot longer. What I love about the UK property market is we've got hundreds of years of data. We can look back and see what happens with these different cycles, different market conditions, learn from it. And then ultimately it comes down to the same thing in property every time, de-risking it, making sure you're safe. And that's down to your own internal financial processes, not over leveraging yourself, making sure you've got some cash safe, de-risking a deal before you enter into it, having different strategies that you can get out of this deal with if it doesn't go right in plan A.
Yeah. Okay. Sick. Another concern, because I'm just throwing thoughts as they come. The average wage in the UK, salary in the UK is 35k, and the average house price, based on the average house price, people wouldn't be able to afford that with the average salary. So, say for example, I'm the average guy.
Yeah.
I'm Joe Bloggs off the street. Yeah, I'm earning 35k. How am I going to get into the property game with the capital that I've got? What are the steps I need to take to make that happen?
Stop buying stupid trainers. Stop going on holidays.
Great fucking advice.
Yeah, literally.
Great fucking advice.
So the media obviously pushes at the moment. It's dead difficult to get on the housing ladder. In real terms, it is actually cheaper now to buy a house in the UK than it has been, I think, in about 30 years. What people think drives the UK property market is house prices. What it actually is often availability of lending. So what are the rates that we're paying on our mortgages? How easy is that debt deployed or able to access, I suppose. So it's a bullshit media narrative that's being pushed out to people that is not actually true.
Okay, so you're telling me that in this day and age, it's actually easier for somebody to go and buy a house than it was 30 years ago?
I believe so.
Yeah? And what's not allowing that to happen is because of consumerism that's pushed on the youth, and you're conditioned in a certain way to buy the trainers and go on the holidays and get your car on finance. That
you see it in real terms, don't you? You see people that have gone out, bought a house, and don't get me wrong, people that come from different backgrounds and circumstances, and if you're looking at property from an investment perspective, it does not discriminate, doesn't care who you are at all. There's loads of different ways to get into it, for sure. When you're talking about people and residential homes that they live in, you see people that make sensible decisions, they save, they put it as a goal, it's important to them, and other people that buy the trainers, PCP the car, etc., etc., and then moan that house prices are so expensive.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I get it. Freedom. People paint this picture, and there's a lot of guys online that are saying, achieve financial freedom through property, so on and so forth. You were the dickhead who bought the course, 100%. When you were 17, yeah? And is there any truth in that? Is there any truth in finding financial freedom or location freedom, whatever sort of freedom, what freedom means to you?
For sure.
Through property? And if there is, what is the real timeline?
Real timeline will vary. That'll depend on your existing resources, how hard you can work, how intelligent you are, how good your decision-making process. For me, it's going to take a long time because I'm not that bright and my decision-making processes aren't all that good.
Mate, listen, you do yourself a disservice there.
No, I'm messing. So timeline will vary depending on who you are, what strategy you're going to go for, your appetite for risk and things. So loads of different variants in that. What was the other part of the question?
What's the actual timeline, and is it possible?
To have the financial freedom, well, when I tend to hear that word, I tend to associate it with people probably trying to peddle a course, or words like cash flow or make. Make is a word that I absolutely hate in property.
Why?
Because they don't know the difference between make and turnover. So I can help you make $3,000 a month from Airbnb.
Yeah.
That's your turnover. That's not your profit.
Yeah.
And again, your cash flow is different to your profit.
Yeah.
So when you tend to hear people talking about financial freedom, it's the same people that are talking about make $100,000 a year.
So looking at top line.
I don't want to make $100,000 a year. I want my profit, my income to be $100,000 a year. Absolutely. Totally different. So I think for me, it's a little bit of a red flag when I hear that word. I think, okay, someone's probably peddling a dream, or alternatively, they don't understand, true business terminology, because property is a business at the end of the day. So they're probably my two key points around it.
Yeah. Have you ever had your pants pulled down on a deal?
Yeah, for sure.
What's one that comes to mind straight away?
So I bought 10 this year. And I think a really good metric to use is probably 7 out of 10 go well.
Okay.
So start of this year, I'd bought a property in Crewe at auction, hadn't seen it. Got there, met the builder. He told me the refurb would be 35k. Cool, happy days.
You've not seen it?
Yeah.
And you've took the builder's word on how much it's going to...
Yeah. Standard.
Okay.
Do that a lot.
Okay.
Don't need to see stuff. I've made more money from stuff that I haven't seen than the ones that I go and view, because we can act quickly, we can buy it cheap. I know the market. I know how to do my due diligence. So I bought this property anyway. It took a couple of days to go back to the builder, and he came back to me and said, listen, I booked a bit of work in. I can't start for 8 weeks. So I rang a mate of mine and said, listen, can you jump on this job? And again, trusting people. He was like, yeah, no worries. We'll just do it open book for you and crack on. Now, I had 2 holidays in May. I'd gone away with the missus, and I'd also gone to my cousin's stag do as well. And I knew if I took both those holidays, that build cost was going to overrun massively. That refurb came in at 57 grand.
22 grand above.
Yeah,
Fuck,
maybe.
mate.
So that's a pretty crap deal now. That's going to take me a long time to get back into some decent positive equity with it. But again, there's only one person that loses in that, because the way that I structure my debt, my income, the finances around it, it's me. I've just got to leave another 20 grand in that deal.
Yeah.
Not great, but it's the cost of choosing to do something else rather than stay there and manage it.
Yeah.
So absolutely, they can go wrong, for sure.
Yeah. Interesting. So when it comes to raising finance, you use private investors quite a bit.
A lot, yeah.
Is there a knack to it? What is the knack? What is the skill that you need to do that? Because I don't think everyone has got the capability of going up to someone that they've known, even for a long period of time. Like, listen, hand us some money, mate.
Switch your mindset. You know, if you're good at it and you're sure what you're doing, you're actually helping people. A lot of people might have 100 grand in the bank. They're going to get 4% on it at the moment, maybe. I'm offering them 10. It's an additional 6K a year that they're going to make just from me looking after that money for them instead. Okay, there's potentially another element of risk that sits with that. But for me, what allows me to raise money is how I de-risk the deals, my understanding of the deal, the way that I structure that debt. So very often I'll borrow, let's say 100% of the purchase price. I'll put the money in for the refurb, and then I either refinance it or sell it. But my money is the danger money that's used in that.
Yeah.
Raising money off people is building like trust. It's building rapport. It's getting on with people. It's working with people that you get on with. And actually, raising money is very, very easy. I've raised 960 odd grand since June of this year. Most of that is private finance, a little bit of institutional finance as well. So basically sort of challenger banks that are lending that type of money to us as well.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing. It's just demonstrating your expertise online, showing the proof, helping people, showing that you can build rapport, showing that you can de-risk deals. It's pretty simple.
So what you're saying, if you're good at building relationships with the right people, then even if you haven't got the best resources in the world, you can still make it happen.
Property's a people business, and it certainly is for my role anyway. I can't hang a picture frame. I can't do a build. I can't do spreadsheets. My whole thing is about picking people that I can connect with, connecting those people together, whether that be people that are better at processes, systems, admin, whether that be people that are great at finding good deals, whether that be people with money, bringing them all together and helping us all benefit out of it. Essentially just managing, conducting that transaction.
Okay. So I can see you got a bit of a scuff there, bro.
Yeah.
You obviously box quite a bit. How does that tie into or carry over into the property game? Is there a carryover?
I think a chipped tooth, shaved head, cut on the nose is just a great look in it when you're asking people for hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you stand out.
It probably does make you stand out, to be fair. For me, it's kind of the same thing. You know, most of the endeavors that I do are about enhancing my quality of life. I enjoy boxing, it keeps me fit, keeps me agile. And actually boxing is one of the only things that you can do where you have to switch off. I cannot be thinking.
Switch off from everything else and be present
mate,
in the
absolutely. I
moment.
can't be thinking about that deal while I've got a fist coming towards my face. I've got to concentrate in the moment on that particular thing. And I enjoy it. I've always been competitive, competed a couple of different times in different things. And it's a great way for me to, I suppose, have another goal that sits outside of career or work.
Yeah. Nice. Do you find it hard to switch off?
Very hard to switch off.
What is it that you struggle with exactly?
I think going from that lazy kid that wanted a way out, not to have to think, not to have to struggle, not to have to work, to finding something that actually is so captivating, so motivating, that I've got such a big anchor towards. You know, for me, property and the goals that I've got aren't a want, they're a need. I have to achieve these goals in my head. There's nothing that's going to stop me from doing it. I enjoy the game. You know, I want to be thinking about it, and I spend so much time thinking, how are we all going to go bust? How are we going to go bankrupt? How do I de-risk it? How can I get the next transaction over the line? You know, there's little incremental efforts that you make compound over time, and they start to breed results.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have this conversation a lot with people, and I spoke to another coach not long ago, and they were talking about, you know, working smarter and not burning yourself out. And my argument is that a point of diminishing returns is still returns.
Agreed.
You know, so I think if you're trying to get to that higher echelon of whatever field that you're in, burnout can't exist. You've got to be able to kind of go through whatever you need to go through, even though returns are diminishing. So what you're saying is you're switched on. If you're awake, you're kind of thinking about work, unless you're in the boxing ring, essentially. How does that affect you on your own quality of life for the short term?
It's a good question because, I think I know it's a passion. I know it's something I enjoy. It happens at airports for me. It's always airports, but I'll sit there and I'll think, okay, maybe you're with the missus or family or whatever else. You're spending quality time with them, cool. But there's times when you might get delayed and I can sit there, I can fire a couple of emails off, I can work from wherever I want, I can sit on Rightmove, whatever it might be to progress. You look over and you've got some guy sat on Candy Crush and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, if that's all, maybe it's bliss. I've got no idea. Maybe just be able to switch off and go, cool, I'm going to play my little game or whatever else. Might be fantastic. I really don't know, but it's not me. And I think one of the biggest things that's helped me over the last couple of years is just realizing who I am and being dead sure and confident in that. Yeah. And that ability to go, well, this is actually what I enjoy and what I want to spend my time doing. Yeah. I went to Italy at the start of the year and literally as I'm getting on the plane, I'm offering on a deal. Yeah. But how fun is that? I'm going to sit on the flight for 3 hours thinking, am I going to get this when I land? Is it going to come through or not? That kind of thing. It's good fun. I think probably where it becomes a little bit detrimental is I'm probably quite one-dimensional. I want to talk to everyone about property. Yeah. I enjoy it. And I'd say there's definitely been times in life where I've not got that balance right, where I've focused too much on work, trying to chase those incremental gains, going to places, networking events that maybe I didn't need to go. Yeah. Maybe you should have been spending it at home, family, whatever else. Yeah. But
I'm going to give you a bit of a switch here, actually, because I had a bit of an epiphany about 6 or 7 days ago. And what we like as men is not necessarily achievement, is a feeling of progression.
For sure.
Of improving, okay? So if that is what we enjoy the feeling of, and that's what makes us useful, and work gives us that feedback, we're progressing. When we talk about balance, is once you start to see everything as work, you can't lose. So for example, your fitness, your boxing, your relationship with the missus, if you start to see it as work, I think, okay, how can I get her to nag me less this month? Do you know what I mean? And we all get it. We're all fucking men. We get it. That's how it kind of goes. But she's nagging you for a reason. It's because you've not done something. Yeah, you're being unreliable in a certain area. Absolutely. Once you kind of gamify the entire human experience,
100%,
you can then start to create balance. Or you can feel that progression.
A boss said to me years ago when I first started working for an entrepreneur, and he said, I used to play video games. And I kind of was playing one day and I thought, why am I leveling up this character when I could level up my own life? Yeah. I don't think I've ever touched a video game since. I thought that's so smart. In every area of life, if you view it as work or whatever else, progression, how can you incrementally improve your life and those around you? Yeah. And that's why I like the gym, property, time with your partner, whatever else it is. Yeah. The key points are just making you a better life, and property is a good vehicle for it.
Yeah. One area as well within that is spirituality or faith. And me and you've had conversations. Obviously, you're Christian. What denomination are you?
I'm not.
You're not? Okay.
No.
So you're just Christian?
Yep.
Okay,
absolutely.
Cool. I respect it. You never know these days. I don't want to offend no one. But what role has that? Because I don't really come across, maybe I'm just in a cocoon, I don't really come across younger people or any people nowadays who are like, obviously I'm from a Muslim background and it's ingrained in us from young, who are Christian and also have those beliefs and so on and so forth. So how has that shaped you, and what has that allowed you to do and withstand that maybe if you didn't have that faith, you wouldn't have been able to deal with those situations?
I think for me, I've always studied people, whether that be successful people at work or people's happiness. And when I've looked at people that have faith in their life, they are generally happier people than people that don't. People have a void naturally. I got into it because I wanted to prove it all wrong. I thought, this is nonsense. Don't want to abide by this. Kind of want to live life on my terms. And I proved myself wrong. And that's where it stemmed from, in truth.
No way.
Yeah.
So you've gone in there to debunk the whole thing?
Absolutely. Absolutely have, yeah.
What for you made you realize that this is the truth for me?
There's a lot of data points around it. So
So you're looking at it from a logical point.
It literally was a logical point. It was
Okay.
a logical point initially, and then it turned into more of a faith or relationship-based experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what are these data points that you're talking about? Give me an example.
Mate, no expert for sure, and I'm not going to claim to be, but in the Bible, there's 66 books written by 40 people.
Okay.
Different timelines, different languages, all adds up into one story. Archaeology, would you agree that Jesus was a real person yourself as a Muslim?
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
He's the only guy that's mentioned in every single religion across the board. So things like that. And then I think when you start to experience it, that's when it becomes a bit more concrete.
Okay, interesting.
What about yourself if you weren't brought up in a Muslim background?
So
What do you think your experience would be?
So this is kind of like a bit of a paradox, because as a Muslim, or anyone who's Muslim, we believe is chosen.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't choose Islam. Islam chooses you. God chooses you.
Same in Christianity.
Yeah. So it's I can't really think about the hypotheticals, and if I truly believe in preordainment, then I was always going to be Muslim. I was always going to be Muslim. And I think with Christianity and Islam, they are very similar. And I'm not going to get into the debate of who's right. It's essentially, if you look at Abrahamic religions, there's a lineage. You had Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And you've got to look at, okay, in regards to using Jesus, for example, we value Jesus just as much as Christians do. Are you with me? In fact, I would argue that in this day and age, it is okay to slander. Certain people would slander Jesus, and the people in the comments won't just be Christians; it'd be Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with me? Because the best way I can put it, he's like our vice captain. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
So on that basis, I think we are more similar than people like to make it out to be. I think dividing people and putting people against each other and pitting people against each other is profitable for the powers that be. I think anyone who's got faith of any sort, I respect them more than somebody who doesn't. And people can be like, oh, you can't fucking say that. Well, it's a fact. Because I know you've got some sort of moral standing, a moral compass from which you're going to live by. And I know I can trust you to a greater extent than somebody that is purely, let's say, atheist for one. But then there's also people who are like, oh, there's somebody up there, but I don't know who. Just stop sitting on the fucking fence and just commit to a team.
I think a big thing for me is we spend all this time concentrating on what shoes, what career, how to spend your weekend, what football team to look at, who to support, and getting upset when the blue shirt lost.
It's mad, isn't it?
Daft.
It's
daft.
Mad. It's mad.
There's more to it. Yeah, well, I've got a few questions for you after that, mate, but I can save them for afterwards if you want.
Yeah, cool. You've also been baptized recently.
I have. You're right.
Why? What does that mean to you?
So there is a denomination of Christians that are Baptists. It says in the Bible to be baptized. It's a command. And for me, it's a declaration that I believe in the Christian faith, and it's doing that publicly.
Sick. And how have things changed for you after you've had that done?
Absolutely nothing.
No.
Nothing changes.
No.
As a Christian beforehand, it's a public declaration to go, I'm going to choose to live my life this way going forward.
Yeah. Awesome. With the Airbnb business that you run,
Yes.
how does that all work? Just break that down for me.
It is a 365-day a year, 24/7 operational nightmare. So if you're going to do Airbnb, do it at scale. Don't do one or two.
Yeah.
So we started this back in 2019. I'd managed HMOs, so houses of multiple occupancy where tenants rent rooms from a landlord. And I managed about 150 HMO rooms for maybe 2 or 3 years. Now, for anyone in property management or has any experience of a HMO, you'll realize how many people you're responsible for, or how many doors you're responsible for at any one point. When I first started doing it, I took on my first rent to HMO. So I rented a house off a landlord and then sublet the rooms. And the tenants at the time, back 11 years ago now or something, is it? They were great. Thank you so much for letting me rent the room. Really appreciate it. I'll pay my rent on time. Have a nice day. And it kind of moved to a different angle whereby I remember giving this guy keys once, and I'd moved him in. He was a lovely, lovely guy, or at least I thought he was. He took the keys off me and he half closed the door and went, "Cheers, mate. I know my rights. I'm not going to pay my rent. What are you going to do about it?"
What? So
whilst holding his camera, sorry, as well, he had me on record at this time too. And you're just like, wow,
horrible.
And there's not a lot. And kind of, he went down the route of trying to threaten me through ICO and all this kind of different stuff. And it was just a nightmare individual. With Airbnb, what I love about it is it's not someone's principal primary residence. It's not their home. You go and stay at a hotel. It's the same thing. You're under a license. So people turn up, they pay, they leave, they pay a deposit, they pay up front, they treat the house a lot better. We offer a management service for people that are landlords or want to be landlords, whereby they want a different route than tenants. So we rent the house on a nightly basis, 2 guests, they pay up front. We organise the cleaning, linen, marketing of the property. We've got clients that are based in Hong Kong, South Africa, Sweden, London, Stoke, all over the place. Our goal is to make them more money than what they would do through tenants with less hassle, less stress and less risk.
Hence why you're stressed.
Yeah, literally.
You take all that
now,
off
to
of
be
them.
fair, it's all credit to my business partner, Richard.
Yeah.
That business is so systemized, so processed, so automated, and it's all down to him. That guy is a walking, talking spreadsheet. Anything that we talk about in the business, he's like, how can I automate this and make it work? And we've got a great team around us. We've got some VAs in the Philippines that have been with us for years. We've got a couple of on the ground staff local to us that are race. A lot of them, I think if you cut them open, they are purple through and through, like the Your Stays branding.
Yeah.
And we're very fortunate for that. So it's far less stressful now because we've got the team, we've got the processes.
Yeah. But
starting out, it wasn't. Starting out, it was, guest checks in at 11 o'clock at night. How do I work the kettle? And you're like, really?
Oh,
that kind of stuff.
I'm just off that, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll take that headache for you.
Yeah. I hear that. How important is it having the right team around you? Because I'm sure, a lot of people can be dubious about thinking I need to do this on my own, and I need to prove it to myself, or that sort of mindset.
I think the quickest way to succeed is to understand what you're good and bad at. And I'm very one-dimensional. I know what I'm good at, and I know what I am absolutely shocking at, and I stay away
What are
from
you
those
shocking
things. Anything that takes more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Anything that requires patience. I'm shocking at DIY, so that's a starting point. I'm out. Can't hang a picture frame. You've seen me on Instagram, mate. You wet yourself at me trying to do a reel or something as well. So anything tech related, I'm out as well.
Yeah.
Anything that requires following a process or a system, not going to happen either.
Okay. What
I'm good at is being creative, problem solving, building relationships, spotting talent, bringing people together.
Yeah.
Kind of visionary stuff. So at first when I started out, I thought I've got to find someone that's just like me that I'm going to be best mates with and get on with.
Yeah.
What I actually needed was people that are totally different to me. My business partners, in different businesses are polar opposite to me.
Yeah.
Very, very different individuals. And that's why it works well. So it's spotting people that are different to you, that have got different skill sets, building that team, because I realize I'm not very good at all that stuff.
Yeah.
But what I am good at is finding people that are and bringing them to our team.
And it takes a level of self-awareness, doesn't it, to be able to come to terms with that. And I think a lot of people are just egotistical when it comes to that sort of thing. Like,
Possibly.
How do you deal with like giving away responsibility to other people? Because control is another thing that people struggle with.
Experience, I suppose. Now I can't cast my eye back to when we first started taking people on, but our first hire was somebody that their previous role, they came to be a PA for me, but the previous role was that they were the PA to the CEO of Stoke Council. I mean, what a downgrade. You go from the CEO of Stoke Council to 23-year-old me.
Yeah.
So I've always hired people that are proven track record, but I think the motto of hire slow, fire fast is very good. I like to give people chances. I like to build relationships. I like to understand what people are good at. But we've had bad hires along the way as well. It's just part and parcel of it. Again, same thing. Bang on about it all day. De-risking it, picking the right people.
Sure. When me and you first started working together, what has changed in that meantime for yourself? Whether it is business, whether it is the way that you operate on a day-to-day basis, what do you feel has changed over that period?
I think one of the main things that I came to you for was about marketing. So you've obviously built a very strong personal brand, and it's one that is very true to you as well.
Fuck yeah.
And I think that's what I was missing. I'm very conscious that I've got a lot of people, I suppose, that follow me on Facebook, for example, that make Instagram work so well for me. And I think when you feel conscious that you've got a lot of eyes, a lot of responsibility on you, you want to put on a bit of a front or a mask to appeal to everybody. and just, helping me with the different types of content and a bit of accountability for it, because it falls to the bottom of my priority list when I get busy. I start to go, that can wait. It's not important. But conversations around how that marketing work will not feed now, but it feeds 3-6 months time. And if you start to go quiet in work, whether that be deals, leads, new managed clients, whatever else it is, that's off the back of work you didn't do 6 months ago in the marketing area.
Yeah, business never goes quiet. You just stop marketing.
Yeah,
every single time. And in regards to having eyes on you, how does that do you feel pressure on that at all? Do you feel like you've got a responsibility to show up a certain way at any point?
Definitely, yeah. And it's wrong, because I'm doing this for me, my family, my business partners, my team, and we help a lot of people along the way. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But there's definitely times where you feel it, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. And I'd be a lie if I said it if I haven't felt it previously. I think when you're, especially the world that we're living in now, it's like compared to the last 1,000 years, like having that many eyes on you is unnatural.
Absolutely.
It's unheard of.
For sure.
And the thing is, the brain understands that as well. It's like when I put this piece of video out, this piece of content out, it's going to be watched potentially by thousands of people. And yeah, you're going to spend, like, I look at content from myself like 3 years ago and I think, what the fuck?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean? But
Yeah.
in that moment, I was like, it was the only thing I could do to progress my life. And it was back to the wall sort of shit. So, it had to be done.
I had an experience where I was on a night out when I first started doing content. Well, I'll tell another story first. I used to do these videos. Hi, I'm Dan Cheetham, professional property investor. And it was this really professional front.
Yeah.
And my mates used to take those videos, plug them into the gym speakers and play it out loud for the whole gym to listen to it, which was class. Like, fair play to them for doing it. I'd do the same thing to them now if they started sticking content online, for sure.
Yeah.
But I remember being on a night out once. I'm from a small town, so most people know each other. And someone came up to me and went, "Your social media makes you look all right."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, sound, cheers. By the way, have you got any jobs going?"
Oh,
And I was like, literally that in the same sentence.
Yeah.
And you're so unaware.
Yeah.
And I have got jobs going, but not for you. No.
Yeah. Fuck them. What's one harsh truth that I've helped you realize over the last few months?
First thing that comes to mind is that I think you're told that no one's paying attention to you. You don't matter. No one's watching you online. Just stick your content up. And you kind of said to me, no, people do, actually. You are taking up people's brain space, but it doesn't matter, because they're either going to like you or not like you. They're either going to work with you or not. And I suppose you see that because you go to events or you go to certain places and people are saying to me, "Oh, I've just seen you've done this." I'm thinking, oh, you are paying attention.
The right people are paying
actually,
attention.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
That's what
they are paying attention. And I think people the worst advice I've heard when it comes to content is just be yourself. Well, what if the person doesn't know who they are? And I think I've been on this journey myself. It's like who I was 6 months ago isn't the
Not
same.
who you are now, yeah.
So you've got to be able to check yourself or have somebody help you check yourself to realize that, because you develop. If I met you in 6 months' time and me and you hadn't spoken and you said you're exactly the same as you were,
You'd be disappointed.
you haven't changed one bit, I'd be pissed off, bro.
Yeah.
I honestly, I would be so pissed off because that means I haven't developed.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Flow, move, change.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then if you flip it on the other side, it's also a bad thing. So that's seen as a positive. Oh, you haven't changed one bit. On the flip side, it's a negative. You've changed, you have. Damn fucking right, bro. Damn right. And I think when we look at the general population, they are geared and conditioned to remain the same, because once you start to come out of the pack, you're also going to be stigmatized. And going back to what your mates did to you, that's fucking brilliant. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. But look, in that moment, if you didn't have your head on,
You'd stop, yeah.
you'd stop. You'd think, oh, I'm not being accepted here, or I'm a little bit different and they don't like me anymore. So maybe I should stop. Maybe I should tone it down. And I think it's super important to put yourself in environments away from your industry where people you are gonna sharpen your axe with people.
For sure.
Because I think I've had it before when I've been in mentorships and I've been in rooms, they're good people, but at the same time, they're a little bit different from me. Yeah. And not in a bad way, not in a good way. We're just different. And I need to also be around people that are just like me.
Yeah.
That I can talk shit with, you know, and who aren't going to be easily offended. And I think you do need that because you just become the environment that you are in the most, essentially. And you can lose yourself, elements of yourself, and you can become a watered down version of yourself. And I think that's really important for me. What are your plans now for, let's say, in 12 months' time? Where do you see yourself?
Just better at what I do. So I'm not looking to do anything exceptional, no massive projects. I just want to keep plodding along with the stuff that I do. Keep buying stock to sell, keep buying stock to hold, keep delivering on the Airbnb management side, keep growing that business, and that is it. Keeping with that plan. So I don't know how many properties I'll buy next year. I'd like to buy 4 to keep. How many I buy to then trade or sell on, it doesn't matter. We'll see.
As they come.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about what those deals generate, the risk, the opportunity that comes at the time. Not to sit here and go, I'm going to buy one every single month. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's the back end that does.
Yeah. People talk about success a lot. What does success mean to you?
For me, the times when I've felt most successful is when I'm in my flow. I felt like I'm contributing, felt like I'm doing something for the people that matter around me, and like I'm making progress. I've got a clear vision for my day. The closer I can get to that day, the more successful I believe I'll feel.
What day?
I'm not talking you through my entire day, mate, where I wake
No,
up.
I thought you were talking about a set day.
No, not a set day. It's my routine. So coming back to that lifestyle thing and what props
Yeah,
it can give
okay,
me,
yeah.
You know, whether that be being able to take the kids to school,
Yeah.
going out for breakfast,
Yeah.
working for this set of time, spending my time at work doing this set thing.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of the time people kind of attach success to a moment instead of a state.
Like when I'm financially free.
Yeah. Yeah, mate. Yeah, fucking like I've never heard that before. I want to make sure I create generational wealth. Shut the fuck.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to give my kids anything at all, apart from the tools to be successful themselves, but I'm not giving them anything tangible.
You know what's mad, Dan? Ash has been in here before. These are going to go out like probably a good few weeks apart.
Yeah.
Ash has said the same thing. Taz has said the same thing. And I think in reality, there's a certain sort of individual that understands the game. And I think all three of you fall in that category because I had one of the lads who joined up yesterday, Jake. He joined up the other week, but I had my first call with him. And what he said to me was, I want to make sure that my kids have got Hugo Boss on. And I had to stop. I was like, bro, no, but listen, this is how we're conditioned, bro. When you don't grow up with things, this is how we're conditioned. It's like, I want to make sure my little one isn't left wanting for nothing. And he's got those trainers. And he's got the Hugo Boss on. And I just had to be like, hold the fuck up there. And I had to unpick that and extrapolate that out and play that out. Right, he keeps getting these things. Where does that leave him? When you're not there,
literally,
he's thinking, well, I need my shit sorting out.
The bars are high. If you're in Hugo Boss from the age of 5, when you turn 18, you've got to be self-sufficient. You can't afford Hugo Boss. What's that going to do to you? The thing that's mad to me is you see, I see a lot of people on social media typically that have spent whatever else and got this many presents for their 1-year-old kid. That is a display of look at how much of a good parent I am. Yeah. My kid's getting a stick. It's going to be absolutely sound with that. Leave it in the garden, play with some mud, happy days. It's going to be just as happy as whatever this new 300 quid toy is.
Yeah.
It's not about that at all.
And I think when people showcase that on social media, it's like the big tree with the presents. It's like,
look how good I am.
It's a status thing. It's
virtue signaling.
It's a status thing. Yeah. It's like with my watch. I never set the time on my watch.
Yeah.
I bought a Rolex because I want a fucking Rolex.
Me too.
I don't. Yeah.
We're not on the 11th hour.
Yeah. I don't buy it to tell the fucking time.
It's jewelry, innit?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So you've got to call it for what it is. It's just a show of status. But when it comes to like using your kids for that, essentially. So you're like, look how lucky
You're actually messing them up.
You're fucking up. You're proper fucking them up. You know, 100%. One final message for somebody who is looking to get into property and do what you do. What's one piece of advice that you'd give them?
Find someone that can help you that doesn't talk about things like financial freedom. And when you've found someone that you genuinely think can support and help you, pull the trigger, do your first deal, and know that first deal is probably going to be crap. But as soon as you've done that first deal, you will learn so much more than spending 3 years going, it's not quite perfect, it's not quite the right deal, I've got to wait for the next one to come along, and the next one, and by 3 years' time, you've done nothing. If you go out, you buy your first deal, you do it, good or bad, you will take so much more, and by the end of that 3-year time period, you'll be in such a better position. Just get to it.
Yeah, imperfect action every single time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dan, absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.